Dear student, I am starting your lecture number 8 on a operational amplifier. In a lecture number 7 we have discussed the inverting amplifier. Today we will discuss non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier. In a non-inverting amplifier, the input signal is given to the non-inverting terminal and there is a no phase shift between output signal and input signal. There is a zero phase shift between input and output signal. I am showing you circuit diagram of a non-inverting amplifier. This is a ground line. Here you are giving input signal to the non-inverting terminals. Here this is your feedback path. In feedback path resistance is R. This is your output voltage you are taking. The circuit diagram of the non-inverting amplifier is as shown in figures. The input is given to the non-inverting terminal. There is a zero phase shift between output and input signal. Due to infinite input impedance of the op-amp, this terminal, input terminal of the op-amp, does not draw any current and some voltage is developed across R1. So this potential difference between these two terminals, I am writing Vi, or it is called Vd, differential voltage. So I can write differential voltage between two terminals is given by Vs minus V1. Listen again. Here some voltage is developed across R1 due to infinite input resistance of the op-amp. This input terminal of the op-amp does not draw any current, and due to this infinite open loop gain and infinite input impedance, the voltage drop between two terminal of the two input terminal of the op-amp tends to 0, means Vi tends to 0. I can show you like this. This is your AOL is given by VO upon Vi. So Vi is nothing but the VO by AOL. As AOL tends to infinite, your Vi tends to 0, means I am taking Vi is equal to 0. As a result, I can write Vs minus V1 is 0. So I can say Vs is equal to V1, or I can write V1 is Vs. Look again, due to infinite input impedance of the op-amp and due to infinite open loop gain of the op-amp, the differential input at the two input terminal of the op-amp is very, very less. This tends to 0. I can show like this. If this differential voltage between these two tends to 0, means this potential and this potential is nearly same. This potential and this potential is same, nearly same. Then you can say Vi is nothing but this potential minus this potential. If this is tends to 0, means Vs and V1 are nearly same. So therefore I can write V1 is nothing but the Vs. Now here none of the terminal behave as a virtual ground. Yes, this terminal behave as a this terminal, but this terminal is not ground. This is not ground. In an inverting amplifier, the summing point at the inverting terminal behaves a virtual ground in an inverting amplifier. But in a non-inverting amplifier, virtual ground does not exist. In a non-inverting amplifier, remember virtual ground does not exist. Now I am deriving the equation of gain of the circuit. Look here, the output section I am showing you is a resistance R, this is a resistance R1, and this is your ground, and this is your VO. You can see in your circuit. This VO from this end to ground, this ground, this is the same point. So VO is between R and R1. Now you mention across R1 what is the voltage? V1. So across R1 voltage you written V1. You know the voltage divider equation. V1 is nothing but the applied voltage into this resistance upon total resistance. Again, this voltage is applied voltage into this resistance upon total resistance. Already know this. So I can write this is your VO by V1 is nothing but the R plus R1 by R. VO by V1 is nothing but the VO by Vs, because V1 and Vs are same. So I can write 1 plus R by R1. Look again. The output section I am showing you by this way. This is the output section I am showing you. You know voltage across R1 you written V1. So I can write V1 is equal to VO into R1 upon R plus R1. So VO upon V1, R plus R1 upon R1. So I can write 1 plus R by R. What is V1? V1 is nothing but the Vs is nearly Vs. So this is your output voltage upon input voltage is called gain of the amplifier. So it is given by 1 plus R by R1. So the gain of the non-inverting amplifier is given by 1 plus feedback resistance upon input resistance. 1 plus R by R1. 1 plus R by R1. This is the gain of the non-inverting amplifier. Last time I am telling you. The circuit diagram of the non-inverting amplifier is shown in figure. The input signal is given to the non-inverting terminal. Due to infinite input impedance and open loop gain of the op-amp, this voltage tends to 0. Hence differential voltage at the two input terminal of the op-amp tends to 0. That I have shown by this way. But this voltage is nothing but the Vs minus V1. So this voltage is nearly same. This potential and this potential is nearly same, because Vi tends to 0. Remember, virtual ground does not exist in a non-inverting amplifier. To find the voltage gain, output section I have mentioned like this. So V1 is nothing but the VO into R1 upon R plus R1. So VO upon VO1 is this equation. So VO by V, so 1 plus R by R1. I think you understand these derivations. Now I am discussing next topic. Voltage follower. Voltage follower. See, the equation of the gain for a non-inverting amplifier is R by R1. If R1 I am keeping infinite, then voltage gain is equal to 1. This you can show by this way. Look here. In this circuit, R1 is not connected. Means there is no R1 here. So it is open circuited here. See, in a previous you connected like this. You connected like this. If I make it open, means R1 is infinite. Open means infinite. If the R1 is infinite, then look here what will happen. Then you will get this circuit. And for this circuit, your gain is nothing but the 1. Gain is nothing but the 1 means VO by Vs is 1. Let me write equal. If R is what? Equal. If you want to say equal, let me write equal. So VO by, so this is nothing but the Vs. So this circuit is called voltage follower because output voltage follows the input voltage. Listen, output voltage follows the input voltage. This circuit has a very, very high input impedance and very low output impedance. Therefore, this circuit is used as a impedance matching device. It is used as a buffer. It is used to make the impedance between the two stages. So there is a no loading effect. I'll give you one example for that. Look here again. If in a non-inverting amplifier, if I am keeping the R1 is infinite, then voltage gain of the circuit is 1, and that circuit work as a voltage follower. For voltage follower circuit, output follows the input voltage. This circuit has a very high input impedance and very low output impedance. So this circuit can be used as a impedance matching device. I am explaining you how you can use as a impedance matching device. This is your AFO. This is your amplifier. You are adjusting a 20 millivolt. And that input you want to give here. And you are measuring some output voltage. Now, you have adjusted 20 millivolt before connecting this input here. In this meter, this is your meters. Here I am writing this is AFO. These meters shows 20 millivolt. You have adjusted how much? 20 millivolt. Because you want to give this input to this, you want to give this voltage to the input of this amplifier. So you have adjusted 20 millivolt before connecting to this two terminal. Now I am connecting this to the input. As I am connecting this, it is found that this meter reduced the voltage and it become immediately 12 millivolt. These meters show the drop in the voltage. You adjusted before connecting at this point. Before connecting at this point, you adjusted 20 millivolt. As you connect here, immediately this voltage drops and becomes 12 millivolt. This is due to the impedance of this meter, and impedance of this is not matched. This drop in the voltage is due to the impedance of AFO and impedance of input. Input impedance of amplifier are not matched. This has some resistance, so voltage is developed across this resistance. So to remove this error, what we are doing, we can do like this. This is your AFO. This I am connecting to this is your 20 millivolt. This is an impedance matching device. And output of this impedance matching device you are giving to the amplifier circuit. Now this input impedance is very large, already I told you. Sir, how much large? Let me say this input is, let me say Ri. This is your Rs. So this circuit is like this. This is your Vi. This is your Vi. This is your Rs. This is your Ri. You want this voltage at this V1, you want 20 millivolt. In previous case it is not a 20 millivolt due to impedance is not matched. Now what is the V1 I can say? Vi into Ri upon Rs plus Ri. So I can write Vi is 20 millivolt. Rs upon Ri plus 1. For your knowledge, let me say this is of the order of 500 ohm or 600 ohm for the AFO. And this input impedance is in mega ohm. This input impedance is mega ohm. Ri is too much greater than Rs. So Rs upon Ri tends to 0. So your V1 voltage is nothing but the 20 millivolt. There is no drop of the voltage. In previous case, your voltage is dropped from 20 to 12 millivolt because this input impedance is not too much large. This input impedance of the amplifier is not too much large. So as a result, the voltage is dropped and voltage you will get some across this Rs. But if you keep the impedance matching device, then due to very high input impedance, no voltage is dropped across this. No voltage is dropped, you can say yes. You can see yes. This is input impedance between these two is very large. So voltage across these two terminal V1 is nothing but the Vi into Ri upon Rs plus Ri. So Ri is too much large, of the order of mega ohm. So Ri is too much high. So there is a no voltage drop. You will get the whatever voltage here, same voltage you will get here. So here 20 millivolt, you get 20 millivolt here. And this is your impedance matching device. Output follow the input voltage. Output follow the input voltage. So this voltage is also 20 millivolt. So you will give the 20 millivolt to the amplifier. In this case, you are not giving 20 millivolt to the amplifier due to impedance is not matched. Due to impedance is not matched between the AFO and this input impedance of the amplifier, there is a drop of the voltage. To remove this difficulty, I have used impedance matching device. So with the calculation you can see that the amplifier input is 20 millivolt, here it is not 20. So this impedance matching device is used to match the impedance between this device and the input of the amplifier. So this is called loading effect is removed. This is called loading effect. When the voltage is dropped, so it is called loading effect. This is called loading effect. So here you can say loading effect is removed. By using a impedance matching device. I think you understand. Last time I am telling you. See here I use the word voltage follower can be used as an impedance matching device. So what is the impedance matching device? Here this is I am giving one example. Suppose you want to give the 20 millivolt to the some amplifier. So you have adjusted 20 millivolt before connecting the AFO to the input. You have not connected this. You have not connected. You adjust how much? 20. Okay. Now you are connecting. As you make the connection, from 20 it becomes immediately 12. Voltage drops. From 20 it becomes what? From 20 it dropped to 12 millivolt. I think you understand what I am doing. From 20 millivolt it dropped to what? 12 millivolt. This is called loading effect. This loading effect takes place due to impedance of the AF1, impedance of the input impedance of the amplifier are not matched. So to avoid this problem, we have kept impedance matching device between AFO and amplifier. So by calculation I have shown you the voltage at this point is nothing but the V1. So V1 is nothing but I can write the Vi into Ri upon Ri, Ars plus Ri. This input resistance of this input resistance is Ri here. So I have written this equation. So you can see here 20 millivolt, then is very simple. Rs by Ri. Ri is very very large. For your knowledge I am telling you source resistance for any AFO is either 500 ohm or 600 ohm. So here you can see here this is a 500 ohm, this is what mega ohm, so this tends to 0. So your V1 voltage is 20 millivolt. So you remove your loading effect. So this 20 is coming here because for impedance matching device output follow the input. So this is also 20. So amplifier get the 20 millivolt. So in this way you can use impedance matching device to remove the loading effect. I think you understand this concept of the impedance matching device. Now I am discussing differential amplifier. The function of the differential amplifier is to amplify only the difference between the two input signals. Listen, the function of the differential amplifier is to amplify the difference of the two input signal. I am showing you one linear active device as a two input V1 and V2 with respect to ground and one output voltage with respect to ground. Listen, The function of the differential amplifier is to amplify the difference between the two input signals. A linear active device with two input voltage V1 and V2 with respect to ground and output voltage VO with respect to ground is shown in figure. The characteristics of differential amplifier are as follows. First, both the input are at the same level, then output is always 0. When both the input are at the same level, output is always 0. This is called perfect balance. You know that. This is called perfect balance. Here V1 and V2 voltage are measured with respect to ground and VO is also measured with respect to ground. So what is the first property? First property is when both the input are at the same level, then output is 0. Second, the output is always proportional to the difference of the two input signals. The output is always proportional to the difference of the two input signals, or I can write it is a differential gain into V1 minus V2. This equation also shows that when V1 is equal to V2, output is 0. This means the output of the differential amplifier depends only on V1 minus V2. Listen again, the characteristics of differential amplifier. When both the input are at same level, then output is 0. Second, output depends only on the difference of the input signal. So I should write VO proportional to the V1 minus V2. AD into V1 minus V2. I can write AD is nothing but the differential gain of the differential amplifier. So this equation that shows that when V1 is equal to V2, then VO is equal to 0. But in practice, output does not depend only on the difference of the input signal. It also depends upon the common mode signal or average signal which is common to both the input, and common mode signal is given by V1 plus V2 by 2. But in practice it is found that output of the differential amplifier does not depend only on the difference of the input signal, but also it depends on common mode signal or average signal to both the input, and common mode signal for both the input is given by V1 plus V2 by 2. Due to the dependence of the output voltage on common mode signal, some error is introduced in the output. We want to reduce this error. Listen again. In practice, it is found that output of the differential amplifier does not depend only on the difference of the input signal. It also depends on some common mode signal or average signal. The common mode signal to both the input is given by V1 plus V2 by 2. For a linear active device, output is given by linear combination of both the input signal. So I am writing the equation of the output voltage for linear active device is A1 V1 plus A2 V2, where A1 is the gain of the amplifier. When V2 is grounded, and A2 is the gain of the amplifier when V1 is grounded. Look here, VO is equal to A1 V1 plus A2 V2. Here A1 is the gain of the amplifier when V2 is grounded, or A2 is the gain of the amplifier when V1 is grounded. Now, the differential signal is given by V1 minus V2. And common mode signal that I have written VCM, this is sometimes we are writing VC, common mode signal. So VC you are writing V1 plus V2 by 2. So from this I can write VD is equal to V1 minus V2, differential signal. 2VC is equal to V1 plus V2. So I can write, from this I can write V1 is equal to, it's very easy, VC plus VD by 2. You can check. Let me say this is equation 1. See, I am doing the addition of this. Those who do not understand, do the addition of this. So you will get like this. Second. And V2 you will get, you do the subtraction of this minus this. So I will get VC minus VD by 2. This minus this, so I will get this equation. Now I am putting the value of V1, I am putting the value of V1 and V2 in this equation. Put the value of V1 and V2 from equation 2 and 3 into equation 1. So I am getting VO is equal to A1, V1 I can write VC plus VD by 2 and plus A2 into VC minus VD by 2. So I can write this is your A1. So I can write A1 minus A2 by 2 into VD plus A1 plus A2 into VC. So output of the differential amplifier is ADVD plus ACVC, means AD is your differential gain, it is your A1 minus A2 by 2. You know what is A1? Already I have mentioned. AC is nothing but the common mode gain. So it is nothing but the A1 plus A2. So you can see here, you are getting output due to common mode gain also. Actually your output is only this, because you know that the output of differential amplifier depends only on the difference of the input signal. It should not depend upon the common mode signal. Even this is what ideally we are discussing. But in practice you can see that output also depends upon the common mode signal. So this is called error term. This is your error term. This is your known as a error introduced in the output due to your common mode signal. See, this much error is produced in the output. Actually you want to get only this much term at the output. Only output should be difference of the input signal. But in practice you are getting output due to common mode signal is also added here. I think you understand. Now we want to reduce this error. One more parameter of the op-amp is defined, CMRR. It is called common mode rejection ratio. common mode rejection ratio. CMRR express how an amplifier is successful. CMRR express how an differential amplifier is successful in providing differential gain and rejecting common mode gain. CMRR is a very important parameter of the op-amp. CMRR expresses how a differential amplifier is successful in providing differential gain and rejecting common mode gain. CMRR expresses how an amplifier or differential amplifier is successful in providing differential gain and rejecting common mode gain. Last time I am telling you, CMRR express how differential amplifier is successful in providing differential gain and rejecting common mode gain. It is defined by the ratio of AD by AC. AD by AC. For an ideal differential amplifier, common mode gain tends to 0 and AD tends to infinite. So for an ideal differential amplifier, rho should be infinite. Rho should be infinite. If rho is very large, then error will not be introduced at the output. See, this is the equation of the output voltage. If I am taking this ADVD common, you can write like this. Now you know AC by AD. AC by AD is 1 by rho. So I can write this equation. I can write above equation 1 plus 1 upon rho VC by VD. Now this term is known as a error term. Due to this term, error is introduced in the output. Error is introduced in the output. To reduce this error, rho should be very large. If rho is very large, then second term tends to 0. So your output is only due to the difference of the input signal. So this discussion shows that if the CMRR of the op-amp is very large, then error term introduced due to common mode signal tends to 0 and will get the output only due to difference of the input signal. So this discussion shows that for a ideal and good amplifier, good op-amp, rho should be infinite. Common mode rejection. When CMRR expressed in a decimal, then it is called common mode rejection. Common mode rejection. It is written as CMR. So I can write 20 log AD by AC, or I can write 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. This is only for numerical I am discussing. Suppose someone want to measure the CMRR. So you can measure by this. to measure CMRR. First, keep V1 is equal to 0.5 and V2 is equal to minus 0.5. So your differential voltage V1 minus V2, it is 1 volt, and your common mode voltage is V1 plus V2 by 2. So it is your 0 volt. Means output is due to only Vd. So what I want to say, keep input voltage 0.5 V1, V2 minus 0.5 and measure the output. And this output is due to only this, not due to common mode signal. As a result, your differential gain is VO by Vd. So you can measure your differential gain by measuring output voltage and keeping V1 is 0.5 and V2 is minus 0.5. So first you find differential gain. Now second. Now keep V1 is equal to 1 volt and V2 is equal to 1 volt. So differential voltage is 0 and common mode gain is V1 plus V2 by 2, means 1 volt. So you will get output due to only common mode signal, not due to differential signal. So you measure your output. So VO is due to only common mode signal. Find common mode gain, output upon common mode signal. So what is CMRR? CMRR is AD by AC. So in this way you can find the CMRR of the op-amp. Listen again. I want to find the CMRR of the op-amp. So what I did? I keep the input voltage 0.5 V1, V2 is minus 0.5. So differential voltage is 1 volt, common mode is 0. So by giving this voltage, I am measuring the output voltage, and this output voltage is due to only Vd. So I will get differential gain only, output upon differential input. So this is differential gain is obtained. Keep V1 is 1 volt, keep V2 is 1 volt. So differential voltage is 0, common mode is 1 volt, and measure the output voltage. This output voltage is due to only common mode signal. See here you have kept the differential is 1 volt. Common mode signal is also 1 volt. So input you have kept same and you are measuring the output. This output is due to common mode. So common mode gain is output upon common mode signal. So you calculate AD, you calculate AC. So you can find CMRR is equal to AD by AC. In this way you can find the CMRR. For a given op-amp, CMR is 55 dB, and differential gain is 1200. Find the value of common mode gain and CMRR. Find AC and CMRR. It's very simple. CMRR is 20 log CMRR, 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. This is 55 dB. 20 log This is your 1200 they have given, minus 20 log AC. So 20 log AC is equal to 20 into 3.08 minus 55. So I can write 61.6 minus 55. 6.6 log AC. If you do the calculation, you will get 2.14. Means you do the anti-log, then you know this what to find. CMRR is equal to AD by AC. This is your 1200 upon 2.14. You will get 560. This is the way you can calculate. Listen, for a given op-amp, CMRR is 55 dB, AD is given, find AC and CMRR. What is CMRR? 20 log CMRR. So I get 20 log AD minus 20 log AC. Those who do not understand, for them I can write 20 log AD by AC. Now this is a 55 dB, this is a 1200, this so I have taken years, this is taken here, this is 3.08, 61.6. So you can find this anti-log of this, so you can do the work. For your more details, I can write log AC is 6.6 by 20, so it is your 0.33. So you can find the anti-log. So by this way, this is your ACO calculate CMRR is AD by AC. So you can do this. It's very simple. For a given op-amp, differential gain is 1200, common mode gain is 2.14, V1 you are giving the 1.5 millivolt, V2 you are giving 1.3 millivolt. Find output answer. We know that VO is ADVD plus ACVC. What is the differential gain? 1200. What is differential input? V1 minus V2. So I can write 1.5 minus 1.3, 0.2 millivolt, 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus what is common mode? V1 plus V2 by 2. So it is 1.5 plus 1.3 by 2. So I will get 2.8 by 2. 2.8 by 2 means 1.4 millivolt. So this is your 2.14 multiplied by 1.4. So this is your 0.24 volt. This is nearly about 3 millivolt. 3 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt. 1.4 into 10 raised to minus 3. This is 0.2 into 10 raised to minus 3. So your output voltage is 0.24 volt due to differential gain, and this is 3 millivolt for the common mode gain. So this is called error is very less. This error is very less, or I can write my output voltage, the output voltage for this set of the input voltage is 0.243, in which this is due to the only differential voltage and this is due to the common mode voltage. This is called error. the error is very less. Now it is not necessary error is always less due to common mode signal. We will see the another numerical. For a given op-amp, V1 is 5.0002 volt and V2 is 5.000 volt. AD is 1200, AC is 2.14. Find the output voltage. Answer: VO is equal to ADVD plus ACVC. So your VD is V1 minus V2. So 0.0002 volt. VC is V1 plus V2 by 2. 5.0001 volt. So my output voltage of this amplifier is 1200 into 0.0002 plus 2.14 into 5.0001. If you do this calculation, you will get 0.24, and this calculation 10.7 volt. You can see here, this is your error term, this is your error term. Due to error term, you are getting error is too large, 10.7. Actually your output should be only 0.24, but due to the common mode signal you are getting this much error at the output. This is your error is too much. In a previous problem error is very less, so in this problem error is very large. So we have only one solution. If you want to reduce this error, then CMRR should be very high. If CMR is very large, then this error term will not be introduced. It is very less. Look here in this problem what I did. I have to calculate VO for this input voltage. So what the output equation? I have to calculate output voltage for this input voltage. VO is ADVD plus ACVC. If VD you know, VC you know, I put the value. So due to differential input signal, your output is 0.24 volt. Due to common mode signal, output is 10.7 volt. Actually your meter should read only 0.24, but due to common mode signal it read the 10.79. So this much is 10.94. So error is you are getting too much large. Your output reading of the output meter is 10.94. Actually it should show the 0.24. So this much is error due to common mode signal. We want to reduce this error, and in next problem we will see if you keep the CMRR is very large, then such error will be reduced. The two numerical shows you due to common mode signal error is developed. For this set of the input signal error is very less. For this set of the input signal error is very large. Here is the end of your lecture.